So Flecker and I have been commissioned by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission to compose a poem together from which one line will be taken and placed at the memorial site.
Well, we have since we were founded, so right from over a century ago in 1917, we've had great literary and architectural influences involved in the way that we've created, designed and presented our memorials, because of course they connect so well with people. And we wanted for the Cape Town Labour Corps Memorial to have something that was specifically for the here, the now, the location, and what was special about it.
Those men were fathers, uncles, grandfathers. It's not some abstract human being who has no home or origin. And so there's a level of, I feel nervous because you want to take care with how you write that poem and what you say, because language is forever. And it is kind of, once it's out there, it's out there. And you want whoever reads it to feel like the people who wrote this really cared about it all.
Well, it was such a fantastic project right from the start. First, the initial bits where we discovered that there were names missing, then the attempt to find those names, and then memorialize the names. And this project now in Cape Town, very specifically, for the Labour Corps. I mean, it's so important that the soldiers are remembered, and not just the soldiers, the non-combatants.
Yes,
they are remembered, because everybody died in that line of duty. Everybody made their sacrifice.
In terms of how our collaboration on the poem is working creatively, I think maybe you can speak to your own process, but we've been meeting with people every day, and I think that maybe we've been processing that information, or I've been processing that information, as well as the research that's been sent to us, interviews, different articles, and just trying to figure out how to extract things that jump out at me, or things that I want to think about when thinking about the poem.
Yeah, and there's a kind of sifting process. You're overwhelmed by information, and you're sifting out to see what imagery works best, what sort of tone to go for, beyond just high serious. Does there need to be any sort of rage in there, or irony or humour? Just trying to find the right way through, and that's partly through talking to people, isn't it? And seeing how they're speaking to us about the whole commission, and hearing how it's being accepted on the ground here in South Africa.
Who is going to remember these people if we don't keep their stories alive? It's forgotten. So it's so important to have these. As you said, every stone is a story. That's a life, that's a family, and then that's a village behind that stone. So we need to remember them, and we need the future generations to remember them.
When you start out as a poet, you just write for fun. You're having a good time, aren't you? You don't expect to, one, be successful, or two, get published, and you just muck around and play, and then suddenly you find you've got a public voice. So you either go with that, or you say, no, I just want to write my private poetry. And I think for both of us, the public outreach work is as important maybe as the poetry you write. And these projects bring the two together, so it's really exciting and rewarding for us, isn't it, as an accolade and an opportunity to do good.
And I think it's going to matter so much. It's going to mean so much to so many people, and that's what's really wonderful.